10 U.S. secret towns where home prices are so low, you'll think it's a joke. Homes in America have gotten so expensive that affordable housing now sounds like a mythical creature, right up there with unicorns and honest cable companies. But what if I told you that across the U.S., there are still towns where home prices are so low, you'll honestly think the realtor made a typo? In a country where the median home price has soared past $400,000, and even fixer-uppers are starting bidding wars, these places are breaking the mold. They're the quiet, forgotten corners where you can still buy a house for what some people spend on a car. And no, we're not talking about ghost towns or tumbleweed territories. These are real communities, with real people, real grocery stores, and shockingly low real estate prices. But here's the twist. Hardly anyone's talking about them. Why? Because they don't fit the media narrative of everything's unaffordable. Yet smart buyers, retirees, and remote workers are quietly moving in, living better for less, and proving that the American dream isn't dead, it just changed its zip code. Welcome to Mr. Globe, where we explore the smartest, most affordable places to live, invest, and thrive. If you're ready to see where your money still matters, go ahead. Tap that like button, subscribe, and stick around till the end, because one of these towns might just be the deal of a lifetime hiding in plain sight. Number 10. Branson, Missouri. Entertainment on a budget. The only thing more surprising than the home prices in Branson, Missouri, are the number of Elvis impersonators per square mile. And yes, that's a real statistic somewhere, probably. Branson is what happens when you mix small-town charm, lakeside beauty, and a full-blown entertainment strip that somehow doesn't feel out of place. Sitting in the heart of the Ozarks, this little city of about 13,000 people punches way above its weight in attractions. There are live shows, country music theaters, roller coasters, wax museums, and an entire Titanic replica, 'cause why not? It's like Nashville meets summer camp, with a touch of Vegas that remembered to take its vitamins. But here's the twist. Despite being a major tourist magnet, the median home price hovers around $199,000, about half the national average. That's right, in Branson, you can snag a 3-bedroom home and still have money left over for season passes to Silver Dollar City. And it's not just retirees and RVs flocking here. Branson's economy thrives on tourism, entertainment, and a growing remote work crowd who figured out they can Zoom from a log cabin instead of a high-rise. Plus, Missouri doesn't tax Social Security benefits, and the overall cost of living runs about 15% below the U.S. average. Translation? Your dollars stretch, your stress doesn't. Add in the crystal-clear Table Rock Lake, scenic hiking trails, and a community that loves a good festival, and you've got a destination that's fun without being flashy. Branson somehow manages to be wholesome and lively at the same time. Like your aunt who can outdance everyone at the wedding but still makes it to church on Sunday. So whether you're a retiree looking for peace, a remote worker chasing balance, or just someone tired of big city price tags, Branson proves you don't have to give up entertainment for affordability. In fact, you might find yourself wondering if low-cost living can actually be, well, fun. Number 9. Sandusky, Ohio. Lake life for less. Where you can buy a house near the water for less than the price of a used boat. Welcome to Sandusky, Ohio, one of the most underrated waterfront towns in America. If you've never heard of it, don't worry, you're not alone. Most people fly over this part of the map without realizing it hides something rare. Small town life, big lake views, and surprisingly low housing costs. Here, the median home price sits around $150,000, which, in coastal terms, is practically pocket change. And yes, that's for homes near Lake Erie. The kind with porches that catch lake breezes and sunsets that make you question every overpriced condo listing you've ever seen. Sandusky has quietly reinvented itself in recent years. Once known mostly for its factories and ferries, the city now boasts a revitalized downtown district full of craft breweries, cafes, and waterfront restaurants. There's a year-round art scene, a growing tourism economy, and for thrill seekers, Cedar Point, one of the best amusement parks in the world. But here's the kicker. When summer ends and the tourists leave, Sandusky goes right back to being a calm, affordable lakeside community. The location is a sneaky advantage too. It's roughly an hour from both Cleveland and Toledo, giving you access to big city amenities without the big city stress. Locals enjoy lake fishing, weekend island trips on the ferry to Put-in-Bay or Kelly's Island, and those glorious Midwest sunsets that last longer than your average commute. The cost of living is nearly 20% below the national average, property taxes are manageable, and there's a real sense of community. It's one of those places where neighbors still wave and the local diner waitress knows your order by week 2. Sure, winters can get icy, and the wind off Lake Erie could wake the dead, but for those who can handle a bit of chill, Sandusky offers something priceless: affordable peace by the water. So yeah, while the rest of the country complains about housing bubbles, Sandusky quietly floats above it, one affordable lakeside home at a time. Number 8. Pascagoula, Mississippi, affordable Gulf Coast living. Where else can you wake up to ocean breezes, stroll along the Gulf, and still afford your mortgage without selling a kidney? Welcome to Pascagoula, Mississippi, a town that proves you don't need a Florida zip code to live a beachside dream. With a median home price hovering around $140,000, Pascagoula is one of the most affordable coastal towns in the entire country. Yes, you read that right. That's cheaper than the average parking space in Miami. And the best part? You're still getting warm weather, palm trees, and easy access to the water. This little Gulf Coast gem sits right on the Mississippi Sound, where shrimp boats glide through the morning mist and pelicans act like they own the place. It's a working town with a laid-back soul. Shipbuilding and aerospace industries keep the economy steady, but the pace of life runs refreshingly slow. Locals say you can tell time here by the tides, not the traffic. Pascagoula's downtown has quietly been revitalizing, with local art galleries, seafood joints, and cozy cafes popping up along the waterfront. You'll find that signature Southern hospitality everywhere, from the guy fixing your air conditioner to the lady handing out gumbo recipes at the farmer's market. For outdoor lovers, it's paradise on a budget. Kayaking through salt marshes, fishing off the pier, or catching live music under the stars. And if you ever need a little more city in your life, Mobile, Alabama is just a short drive away, close enough for convenience, far enough to keep things peaceful. The cost of living here is about 25% below the US average, property taxes are minimal, and Mississippi doesn't mess around with expensive red tape. You can actually breathe here, financially and literally. Sure, hurricane season occasionally reminds everyone who's boss, but locals take it in stride. For most, the trade-off, cheap homes, ocean views, and a slower, friendlier lifestyle is more than worth it. So while everyone else pays premium prices just to glimpse the sea, Pascagoula quietly proves you can live by the water without drowning in debt. Number 7. Parkersburg, West Virginia, the river town that time forgot, where peace and porches are still part of the price. That's Parkersburg, West Virginia. Tucked along the Ohio River, this town feels like it pressed pause somewhere around the 1960s, and in the best way possible. The pace is slower, the smiles are genuine, and the word neighbor still means something. Here, around $145,000 gets you a full family home, complete with a yard, a porch, and probably a friendly wave from whoever lives next door. That's right. Not a tiny apartment, not a shoebox in a high-rise, but an actual house you can stretch out in. In a world where big city rents are climbing higher than mountain ridges, Parkersburg is refreshingly normal. It's a town steeped in history and surrounded by nature. Once a bustling hub of glass and oil manufacturing, Parkersburg has evolved into a quiet, family-friendly river town that's big on character and small on pretense. Its downtown is dotted with historic buildings, local diners, and the occasional antique shop where time, quite literally, seems to stand still. And the outdoors? You're spoiled for choice. The Blennerhassett Island Historical State Park, reachable only by paddle-wheel boat, gives you a taste of early America, while the nearby North Bend Rail Trail lets you hike, bike, or just stroll off those diner pancakes. Add in the rolling Appalachian hills, and you've got scenery that looks like it was painted for a postcard. Locals describe Parkersburg as safe, affordable, and peaceful, which sounds simple, until you realize how rare that combination has become. The cost of living sits roughly 25% below the national average, and property taxes won't make you choke on your sweet tea. It's one of those places where small town values and big savings happily coexist. Sure, it's not flashy, there's no nightlife district or skyscraper skyline, but that's exactly the charm. Parkersburg isn't trying to be the next big thing. It's content being what so many places aren't anymore. Comfortable, affordable, and real. In short, if you're craving a life where stress is low, porches are wide, and time moves like the river beside it, Parkersburg's waiting. Number 6. Bay City, Michigan. Great Lakes, great deals. Lake views. This pretty shouldn't cost less than a studio in Chicago, but they do. Welcome to Bay City, Michigan, a waterfront town that feels like the Great Lakes' best-kept secret. It's the kind of place where you can sip craft beer on a riverside patio, watch sailboats drift by, and then realize you paid less for your home than someone in Chicago pays for their parking spot. With a median home price around $140,000, Bay City proves that affordable doesn't have to mean boring. This rebounding port town along the Saginaw River and Lake Huron's Saginaw Bay has quietly transformed from an old shipping hub into a charming blend of art, antiques, and lake life. Its historic downtown is full of 19th-century buildings turned into galleries, cafes, and boutiques. The kind of place where every block feels like it's competing for the most Instagram-able corner. Locals enjoy a lifestyle that's equal parts peaceful and playful. Summers bring outdoor concerts, waterfront festivals, and boats lining up along the docks like it's a Norman Rockwell painting with Wi-Fi. When the air cools, fall colors light up the riverbanks, and you remember why Michigan's seasons are still worth bragging about. And those Victorian homes? Don't even get me started. Many date back to the lumber baron days and can still be found for under $200, complete with wraparound porches and stained glass windows that make HGTV hosts jealous. The cost of living sits roughly 15% below the national average, and Michigan's low property taxes make it even sweeter. Plus, with nearby cities like Midland and Saginaw, you've got job opportunities, healthcare access, and weekend adventure all within reach. Sure, winters can get chilly, but that's what fireplaces, good coffee, and strong Midwest DNA are for. We're officially halfway through the countdown. If you've been enjoying this journey so far, thank you for watching and hanging out with us here on Mr. Globe. Your support keeps videos like this going. So, go ahead, tap that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, could you see yourself living in a town like Bay City? Alright, let's keep rolling, because the next town might just redefine what affordable charm really looks like. Number 5. Weirton, West Virginia. The Pittsburgh Bypass Bargain. Close enough to the city for opportunity, far enough to actually sleep at night. That's Weirton, West Virginia, in one line. Tucked neatly along the Ohio River, this small city has mastered the art of balance, where you can have a life, not just a commute. With a median home price around $140,000, Weirton feels like a secret suburb of Pittsburgh that the realtors forgot to mention. You're just a 30-minute drive from downtown Pittsburgh, close enough for big city jobs, concerts, and pro sports, but far enough that rush hour doesn't feel like an endurance event. It's the classic, best of both worlds situation. Small town calm with city convenience right over the hill. Once a steel town, Weirton has evolved into a peaceful, affordable bedroom community. Today, it's known for its safety, quiet streets, and neighborly spirit. The kind where people still wave when you drive by and the local diner knows your breakfast order by week 2. It's suburban life without the cookie-cutter chaos. And here's the kicker. Despite being so close to a metro area, Weirton's cost of living is roughly 20% below the national average, and property taxes are refreshingly reasonable. That means your money actually works for you, not just to keep your lights on. Nature lovers also get the bonus of rolling Appalachian hills and riverfront views without paying resort prices. You can kayak, hike, or just sit on your porch and pretend you're retired, even if you're not. Weirton is one of those places that doesn't make noise, and that's kind of its charm. It's not trying to impress you with skyscrapers or nightlife. It's offering peace, space, and sanity at a price that makes sense. So while everyone else is paying premium rent for city stress, smart Americans are discovering Weirton, a place where you can build equity, breathe fresh air, and still make it to a Steelers game before kickoff. Now that's what I call living smart. Number 4. Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Southern space at starter prices. A town that costs less than a Tesla, but could be your next real estate win. Welcome to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It's one of those places that's quietly sitting on the map, waiting for smart Americans to notice that you can still buy a whole house here for the price of a used SUV. The median home price? Around $135,000. And yes, in some neighborhoods, you'll find listings dipping even lower. That's not a typo. That's Arkansas doing what Arkansas does best, offering big space, big comfort, and small price tags. While most of the country debates whether owning a home is still possible, Pine Bluff just shrugs and says, well, we've been doing it this way for years. Set along the Arkansas River, this town offers wide-open skies, friendly southern charm, and a cost of living that's about 30% below the national average. You get big homes, big yards, and low property taxes, all without sacrificing community or convenience. Now let's be honest, Pine Bluff has seen some ups and downs. Like many small southern towns, it's weathered economic challenges, but here's the interesting twist. The community is fighting back. Revitalization projects are reshaping downtown, investors are showing renewed interest, and local entrepreneurs are quietly bringing new life to old spaces. There's a sense of hope here. That feeling of a town on the edge of a comeback. Nature lovers have it good too. The Arkansas River Trail and Lake Saracen make weekend recreation effortless. Fishing, boating, and lakeside picnics are a way of life. And when you need big city amenities, Little Rock is only about 45 minutes away, close enough for a spontaneous day trip or commute. Pine Bluff is not about hustle and hype, it's about potential. For retirees, remote workers, or investors looking for their next quiet win, it's a market that still makes financial sense. So while others are fighting bidding wars over shoebox apartments, Pine Bluff just smiles from its porch swing, offering southern comfort, space to breathe, and a mortgage that doesn't require a miracle. Sometimes the smartest move isn't to chase the hottest market, it's to find the one that's about to wake up. Number 3. Decatur, Illinois. The Midwest's best-kept secret. If affordability had a hometown, it might just be Decatur, Illinois, a place where the American dream still clocks in at under $120,000. Yes, you read that right. The median home price here sits around $120K, and you can still find entire houses with yards, garages, and actual character for less than the cost of a down payment in most cities. Decatur sits right in the heart of Illinois, surrounded by farmland that stretches as far as the eye can see. It's the kind of place that smells like fresh-cut grass in summer and hot cocoa in winter, a living postcard of Midwestern practicality. And unlike many small towns that peaked decades ago, Decatur is quietly rebuilding itself. Its downtown is seeing new life with coffee shops, boutiques, and the occasional trendy restaurant that makes locals say, "Huh, we're getting fancy." Economically, the town holds its own. Agriculture and manufacturing are still strong, with big employers like ADM, Archer Daniels Midland, and Caterpillar providing stability. Add in Millikan University and a handful of solid healthcare systems, and you've got a job base that supports both new families and retirees. The cost of living is about 25% below the national average, property taxes are manageable, and even the utilities don't come with sticker shock. Crime rates have dropped in recent years, and the community is investing in infrastructure, parks, and recreation. You'll find charming older homes with big porches, mid-century ranches with retro flair, and new builds that still cost less than a studio in Chicago. Of course, winters can get chilly, and you won't find skyscrapers or high-speed nightlife, but that's not why people move here. They come for space, safety, and sanity. It's a place where neighbors look out for each other, the schools are solid, and your money actually lasts all month long. Decatur isn't trying to impress anyone. It's just quietly winning the affordability game while no one's watching. In a country where homeownership often feels like an Olympic sport, Decatur proves you don't need a gold medal income to win. Number 2. Youngstown, Ohio, America's comeback kid. If cities had personality traits, Youngstown, Ohio would be the tough, scrappy underdog who got knocked down hard and then decided to build a whole new life anyway. Once the symbol of American steel, Youngstown became the symbol of what happens when that industry collapses. But here's the plot twist. The story didn't end there. It just got interesting. Today, Youngstown is quietly becoming one of the most affordable and surprisingly livable cities in the country. The median home price hovers around $87,000. Yes, you can still buy a house here for the price of a used pickup truck. And we're not talking about rundown fixer-uppers on the brink of collapse. Many are charming brick homes, craftsman bungalows, or ranch-style houses sitting on quiet, tree-lined streets. After decades of decline, the city has started a comeback fueled by education, entrepreneurship, and community revival. Youngstown State University anchors the city's downtown, attracting students, startups, and new investment. The Covelli Center brings in concerts and events, while small businesses and tech incubators are giving the local economy new life. The cost of living, about 30% below the national average. Property taxes are low, utilities are manageable, and the average commute time barely cracks 20 minutes. It's no wonder retirees, first-time homebuyers, and remote workers are rediscovering this once-forgotten gem. And then there's the culture. Youngstown has that classic Rust Belt resilience, the kind that doesn't complain, it rebuilds. The locals are proud, practical, and fiercely loyal to their hometown. Add in parks, nature preserves, and easy access to both Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and you've got the perfect mix of affordability and accessibility. Of course, like any comeback story, there are still challenges. Some areas are rebuilding faster than others. But if you're the kind of person who sees potential instead of problems, Youngstown is your kind of town. It's living proof that value doesn't vanish. It just waits for smart people to notice it again. And for those who do, Youngstown offers something rare. A second chance at the American dream. With a mortgage that won't keep you up at night. Number 1. Johnstown, Pennsylvania, the unbelievable underdog. It's the kind of place where your mortgage payment might be less than your phone bill. Welcome to Johnstown, Pennsylvania, a town that's rewriting the definition of affordable living, one mountain view at a time. With a median home price around $50,000, yes, that's 50, not missing a digit, Johnstown is hands down one of the most budget-friendly towns in America. And before you assume that means tumbleweeds and silence, think again. This scenic valley town, framed by the Allegheny Mountains, offers a backdrop so beautiful it looks like it was borrowed from a travel calendar, and then priced like it came from a yard sale. Johnstown's history runs deep. Once a steel titan, it's known for resilience, surviving multiple floods, economic shifts, and population dips. Yet every time the odds stacked up, the community rebuilt stronger, smarter, and prouder. Today, that comeback spirit still runs through its veins. Residents enjoy low property taxes, minimal bills, and a cost of living nearly 40% below the U.S. average. The town's revitalization efforts are real, from restored downtown architecture and craft breweries to local festivals that bring the whole valley together. Nature lovers get hiking trails, fishing spots, and mountain vistas practically in their backyard. And if you ever crave big city buzz, Pittsburgh is just about 70 miles away. Close enough for convenience, far enough to keep your sanity. Of course, Johnstown isn't perfect. It's quiet, it's small, and it's still rebuilding. But for many Americans priced out of major metros, that's not a downside. It's the dream. It's where life slows down, neighbors remember your name, and your money actually stretches past the 15th of the month. So, for those looking to escape the chaos and rediscover what peace feels like, Johnstown isn't a joke. It's a revelation. And there you have it, our countdown of the 10 U.S. secret towns where home prices are so low, you'll think it's a joke. These aren't fantasy spots. They're real towns where smart Americans are quietly reclaiming the good life without the financial stress. If you enjoyed this list, tap that like button, subscribe to Mr. Globe, and tell me in the comments, which one surprised you the most? Until next time, this is Mr. Globe, reminding you, live smart, spend wisely, and keep exploring, because your dream town might be hiding in plain sight.